Good day to all. I'm Dr. Anitha. I'm a Senior Assistant Professor in the Department of English and Foreign Languages. Today I'm here to discuss what is the influence of interpersonal skills. Let's meet one of our students who's going to interact with me to know how far and how these interpersonal skills really affect one's lives. Maybe it is career or personal also. Yeah, Aishu, let
Yes,
me
ma'am.
know.
A very good day, ma'am. Ma'am, when I heard that we are going to start a session on interpersonal skills, I'm very excited to attend this session, ma'am. Firstly, I would like to know what is interpersonal skills, ma'am. How we are going to evaluate interpersonal skills of one person.
Yeah, let us not go for the definitions at all.
Yes, ma'am.
As you know very well that definitions will never give us any application oriented. We should go
Yes,
with the
ma'am.
concept.
Couldn't agree more on that, ma'am.
Yeah. So interpersonal skills are nothing but how we manage our relationship with the others. It may be elders or seniors or youngsters, juniors. It may be whomever it may be. Maybe with the strangers. How do we communicate with them and maintain the relationship? Maybe temporary or maybe the permanent. So what are the techniques needed? So
Yes, ma'am.
interpersonal skills are like everybody says that yes, we manage very good relationship with others, but are we really managing it? Are we
really
taking
faking it?
Yeah, are we really managing? Yeah, you're right. Are we faking it? Or this actually we cannot use the word fake, the particular word. It is like, are we managing? What exactly the relationship, on what grounds it maintains, and how we are managing it. Are we really managing it? Managing is needed, or should we live through those relationships? So today's our session is that only interpersonal skills. So let me know more about your doubts with regards to this particular topic.
As you said, interpersonal skills is all about how we maintain our relationship with others.
Right.
How we can manage our relationships at the first hand, ma'am?
Manage the relationships. Very good question. Um, yeah, when we talk with others, the first important thing is we have to think about what is our mood. In very simple language, not going to the jargons, let us talk about in a very simple terminology. What is our mood? For example, suppose if we feel very much happy on particular day, we talk with the people in flying colors, like we laugh, we give smile, with much positive attitude we talk with the people. Sometimes on particular day when our mood is good, if the other person is even irritating us or we are in that mood, we take it in a positive sense only. We never react in a wrong manner.
Yeah.
Do you agree to this point?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more on that, ma'am.
Yeah. With this, you might have understood that something works, a mechanism works internally, which we call it as interpersonal skills, intrapersonal skills. So interpersonal skills are always influenced by intrapersonal skills.
How are they going to influence interpersonal skills, ma'am?
Right. Now let us see what is intrapersonal.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
far we were talking about only interpersonal, that is how to maintain a relationship with others. But we'll see, to maintain relationship with others, what we have to do internally, what sort of mechanism we have to adopt, what sort of strategies we have to adopt.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So it is not like one point I would like to tell you over here.
Sure.
Every person takes the birth. It doesn't mean that by birth they should have all these qualities.
Obviously not, ma'am.
Yeah. Every day, whenever we see any situation, any particular person, we should go on develop ourselves.
Learning things.
Yeah. So it is lifelong learning, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Especially these skills. We call it as life skills, right? Everyday learning.
Yes,
Based
ma'am.
on different situations, we have to go on learn one or the other point. It's a takeaway.
Yes,
Life gives us takeaways, right? Okay. So, okay, let's come back to the skills. How we manage with the others. Okay. For that, what is the important thing we have to concentrate? How we manage our intra skills, right? Now let us see what are intra skills. Yes, now, first let me talk about
and when we are talking about intrapersonal skills, we also have some negative emotions, right, ma'am?
Right.
How are we going to manage negative emotions while we are, I mean, those are also part of our life now, ma'am. So why we need to manage those emotions?
Okay.
We should
Do you,
have to adapt them.
right. Do you agree on a particular point that a coin has two faces?
Yes, ma'am.
Can we see over there that a
Yes,
coin
ma'am.
which has got two faces?
Yes, ma'am.
But
I
when we
can
see
see.
complete coin, we just feel very simply that, okay, this is the other face of the coin. But when we see individually two faces of the coin, that means what? There is a life behind each face. Do you observe over there? There's a life,
Yes, ma'am.
right? That means what? This implies even for the life also of a person. So what is seen outside might be definitely different from what is inside.
Ma'am, to understand the perspective of any other person, we need some emotional intelligence, ma'am.
Right.
And everyone is talking about you should have some that emotional intelligence to tackle the situation or to handle the situation. And could you please explain me what is emotional intelligence, ma'am?
Right. Before going to emotional intelligence, let us talk about a few important things which really influence our intra. Because
Yes, ma'am.
once when we come to know what we are, then only we can apply our emotional intelligence over there. And once again, let me tell you, emotional intelligence is not again inbuilt. We have to learn.
Admit.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
Each and every time we have to update ourselves.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
in which situation, how to apply? Now let us see what are intrapersonal. What are the things which influence intrapersonal? Right. How about self-esteem? Do you believe in self-esteem?
Yes, ma'am, I do believe.
Yeah. Can you tell me one word that what does self-esteem mean according to your perspective?
Ma'am, according to my perspective on the situations I have come from, the thing I know very well.
Hmm.
When I know, I can estimate myself.
Okay.
When only, I mean, then only I'll come to know what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses, and what should be done, what shouldn't be done to
Right.
go further in my life.
Definitely, all these things give you a sort of confidence within
Yes,
you.
ma'am, self confidence.
Right. So when your self-esteem is high, automatically you're self-confident.
Yes, ma'am.
True.
True.
So when you're confident, that confidence you get through the strengths which you have. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, what if a person doesn't have those strengths? What are his or her confidence levels?
Might be low.
A bit low?
Yeah.
Okay. Agreed. Low. Now, what are the consequences because of this low self-esteem?
Maybe they can't focus more.
Focus more. Okay.
They can't
Agree.
focus. They just don't know. They will be just confused, ma'am.
Right.
They'll be confused. They don't know what to do. They don't know what they are going to do in future.
Okay.
They don't know which path they need to take.
That affects only that particular person who has low self-esteem. Does it influence the outer environment also?
Definitely, it does affect, ma'am.
It affects
Yes,
other
ma'am.
Outer environment.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
people as well, right? Who are
Yes,
in and
ma'am.
around that particular person.
And definitely, if one person is not at all, is not in the mood, definitely their family is also going to affect, right, ma'am?
Not only family, maybe the colleagues, maybe the
yes, ma'am.
classmates, everybody gets
Yes,
affected.
ma'am.
Right. Now you might have understood that low self-esteem leads to disturb themselves, those are with low
And the
self-esteem,
environment also.
and even the outer environment, maybe the family, whoever comes in the particular personal zone.
Yes,
Am I
ma'am.
right? Okay. But there's one more word called self-management. Can't we use this particular strategy like self-management and improve our self-esteem?
Then what are the strategies to improve self-management and how do one manage their self, ma'am?
Good questions you are asking today. Self-management.
Ma'am, that means I'm not asking any good questions in the previous sessions.
Anyways, here you have to understand. I mean, it is really a valid question, I have to say. So, as I was talking about the coins, there are two faces of the coin, right? For
Yes,
every problem or every challenge, there are two faces.
Yes,
Only
ma'am.
the thing is, we have to catch hold of the positive side. Okay, the same is the case with self-esteem also. Now we know very well that self-management is also there. When we feel that we are low, our self-esteem is low, and that we can check through our confidence. We can easily understand how our confidence levels are.
Yes,
If
ma'am.
our confidence levels are a bit low, that means what? It is giving alarm to us, saying that our self confidence levels are low, our self esteem is low. So immediately with our self management, can't we improve self esteem?
Yes, ma'am, we can improve, but how
Yeah,
to manage this self?
right. Come back now. You know very well, right? As a human being, every person knows that where they are lagging.
Hmm. Some of them might know, some of them might not know.
Don't say this, Vaishu. Let me tell you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, if it is 5 years old, your
Yes.
child obviously depends on their parents
Parents. Yes,
or the
ma'am.
people who are very much close to them. They can't take their own decision. They don't realize what is right and what is wrong. That's the reason you just see all the elders are back of all these children to take care of
Yes,
them,
ma'am.
right? But when they come to 10th standard, yes, there is a confused state whether to do this or whether to do that. Is it right or is it wrong?
Right.
What are the consequences and all? But after coming to intermediate,
Definitely they
definitely
don't.
which belongs to themselves, maybe their career, maybe their subjects, maybe their strengths and weaknesses,
Yes,
they
ma'am.
definitely come to know, right? No
Yes,
person
ma'am.
can say that we are not aware of our strengths or our weaknesses. By the age of 16 years, every person comes to know that
Their strengths and
yeah, what are
weakness.
my strengths, what are my weaknesses. Here
Ma'am,
I
why
would
is
like
it so important to know their strengths and weakness, ma'am?
Right. Here, I would like to quote. I mean, I wanted to refer one of the psychologist. Actually,
Yes, ma'am.
he was also a educationist. Also, he proposed one theory. We call him Freud theory. Actually, that theory name is Freud theory. He always talks about how our mindset works. Okay, so generally, he has given three stages of brain, how
Yes,
it
ma'am.
works. One is id stage, second one is ego stage, and third one is super ego stage. Okay,
Super ego.
so yeah, super ego. So first one is id stage. Id stage is like instinct, like how an animal behaves. You see, even children also, maybe below 5 years or so, they do whatever they like.
Yes,
Have you
ma'am.
ever observed?
Yes,
They
ma'am,
don't
I
even
did.
hesitate that, okay, if I do like this. See them, they go into the, I mean, in the
They
ground
go
and they
and
play
touch
with the
everything.
mud. They touch everything. They talk, I mean, whoever comes to them, they start smiling at them and they talk with them. So you can easily understand that their instinct is working.
Yes, ma'am.
They don't realize what is right and what is wrong. But what this psychologist, Freud, always suggests that give a little bit of time to your brain, just 30 seconds, not more than that. If you give brain for 30 seconds, from its stage, brain starts thinking to the level of ego stage. So ego stage is something like everything comes to your mind. Okay, at that particular moment, how you wanted to behave, that particular decision appears in your brain.
Yeah.
Sometimes it might be correct, or sometimes it might prove to be wrong also. Sometimes it leads for unnecessary consequences also.
But it purely depends on the.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
But here one more, like a tool Freud has suggested. Give another 30 seconds for your brain. Now it reaches from ego stage to super ego stage. So how much time we are spending over here
1 minute.
to take a decision?
1 minute.
1 minute, maybe 1.5 minutes at the maximum level.
Yeah. Yes,
right? Maximum 1.5 minutes. But by 1 minute only, our brain takes to the superego. Now, superego stage is a stage where it starts deciding what is right and what is wrong.
Oh.
Right? So when any student says that, no, I do not know, I cannot come, I cannot talk, I have a lot of stage fear and all. No, these are allowed at ego stage only. Come and give some time for your brain, maybe 1.5 minutes.
Oh.
Just give some time, then see what are the results your mind gives you, your
I
brain
think
gives you.
these things should have remembered by the students, ma'am. So they don't say it. I have stage fear, ma'am.
I
So
don't want to
come.
confine this particular strategy or a tool only to the students.
Yes, ma'am.
See, every corner, every stage of every person's life, he may be 75 years old, 100 years old, or a 5 years baby also. So every person has got this confusion levels,
Yes, ma'am.
because every day is a challenging day for us. Every situation is a challenging situation for us. So what is the best thing we have to do? Give some time to our brain. So
Yes,
give
ma'am.
some time. So what happens? Brain gives you the right decision. Actually, we are not working. Our brain is making us to work. Do you agree to
Yeah.
this?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll give you the best example.
Yes, ma'am.
Generally, people start driving, two-wheeler especially,
Yeah.
right? So what do? Till they come out onto the road, they slowly take the vehicle, they sit, they start, they see here and there, and slowly they come onto the road. But after coming to the road, do really see the road, or they start driving?
I'm imagining, ma'am, because I
Okay.
also drive now, ma'am. So I'm thinking what I do when I drive.
Don't you think so that any other thought process goes on in your mind?
Yeah, it goes, ma'am.
Maybe sometimes you might be thinking about your breakfast, or you might be thinking about the first hour,
Yes,
or
ma'am.
you might be thinking about the toughest hour which is going to be on that day.
Maybe what I have to do in next phase of my life.
Yeah. Or else you can think about your friend, that what today should I fight with her, or what I have to do. So many things go on in our thought
Yes, ma'am,
process,
while
right? But
driving.
still we start driving.
Yeah.
We know very well that if anybody comes in the middle of the road, we horn them.
Or we
When a speed
break.
breaker comes, we slow it down. Who's doing all these things? Are we doing, or our brain is doing?
Involuntarily we are doing. I mean, our brain is.
Yeah, that we have to understand. Every person should understand that we are not doing. Our subconscious mind is making us to do all these
Yes,
things,
ma'am.
because everything is into the library of our subconscious mind.
Yeah.
So what we have to do, we should let our subconscious mind to realize what we know and what we do not know, what are our strengths and what are our weaknesses.
And what should we do?
What should we do? We don't have to think at all. Give some time to your brain. It suggests you what is right and what is wrong.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, ma'am.
Truly, you practically you imply it and try to see it. Definitely, you will get the answer that what you have to do and what you should not do.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is how we have to find out the weaknesses of a person.
Yeah.
Right? So when we are talking about our self-esteem is low, through our self-management, we can balance both the things. Automatically, when we feel that, yes, my confidence levels are going down, I think somewhere my self-esteem is not working, immediately what we have to do, we should go for our self-management. Should we intensify, or should we reduce or minimize? What we have to do. So self-management suggests us what we have to do.
Yes, ma'am. Now I got a clarity on self. Ma'am, as I see the heading, it is saying that SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats,
Yeah.
a boring one. But now I'm seeing very different, ma'am. I'm so excited what it is about.
Right. Here we have to consider one important thing.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, before actually going to that slide, I wanted to say, whatever work we do,
Yes, ma'am.
everybody does. What's special in that? Do we find really interesting seeing that?
No, we really habituate to that SWOT analysis. Whenever we see SWOT, oh, okay, this is strength, weakness, opportunity, then it's okay.
Right.
We know about that. Let me just see them. I'll do that only, ma'am.
Until and unless we go with something new.
Yes, ma'am.
It doesn't interest us, the person who's doing. It doesn't interest even to the people also. Each and every time we have to concentrate on innovation.
Yes.
Present era goes with the terminology innovation. If innovation is not there, even we lose interest in our life, maybe career or personal also.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So this always triggers me, and I always go with that particular thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Now let us come back to this particular slide SWOT.
This made us to do more for your session, ma'am.
Right. We were in the previous slide. We were talking about self-management and
Yes,
self-awareness, right?
To know
Why
about
we should know?
strength and-
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Why should we know about that, and how should we know? Why we have understood now. Now, how should we do?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is a slide which tells you. Now, adding, you just see the four. Generally, we call it as strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. But if we imply to our lives in a very simple terminology, that is nothing but what? Adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. Don't you think so? Why we should go for the higher terminology? Why, when we are talking about our life, let's talk in a very simple language, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Adding is nothing but what? Whatever we have. It may be money, we add it. It may be skills, we add it. It may be something,
Strength, yeah.
we add it. So whatever we have to focus on the point that we should go on add.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Okay, while adding, we'll come to know that there are certain loopholes in between.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
What
take
we
a
are lacking.
student, maybe liking, or
Yes, ma'am.
maybe sometimes we are driven with some sort of laziness. For example, take example of a student. Now, a student who's very much brilliant in intermediate or 10th standard, when they come to first BTech, your first BTech also they maintain. But when they come to second BTech, definitely we see a bit of falling down the
Yes, ma'am.
curve. True or false? Now, what is the reason behind?
Laziness,
Maybe laziness, or maybe
losing interest.
losing interest, or maybe sometimes you may not feel attached with that particular one.
Yes, ma'am.
There is no connection between your mindset and that. It might be that also
Yes,
reason.
ma'am.
Now, what to do? Suppose you have
How to
joined in.
overcome those things? Ma'am?
Yeah, that is what this slide explains us. If you have the laziness, we have to subtract it. I getting it. If you don't have the interest,
Yes, ma'am.
now go to the level where you make yourself interested towards that particular thing. Suppose I see many of the students, they don't feel like coming to the college sometimes. They wanted to just eat and sleep.
Maybe every time.
Sometimes it happens.
Yes, ma'am.
See, there is a reason for everything. If a student wanted to relax completely, maybe eating and sleeping, there might be some reason which is driving him to do that.
Yes, ma'am.
I strongly believe that any student without any reason, they don't do it. There might be some sort of behavioral issue
Situations.
which goes on.
Yes,
Maybe
ma'am.
any situation, or maybe he or she is unable to connect with the subjects.
Or they can't connect with the environment and the
Maybe
people.
that is also.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so it used to happen with me also, right? I was a topper actually, but
Okay.
unfortunately, one of the subjects, as madam couldn't climb up, ma'am used to take the classes in the ground floor only.
Yes, ma'am.
And you know very well, right? In Hyderabad, all the colleges, they are the once upon a time kings and queens used to live in that particular college.
College.
Actually, later on they made it as a college. Earlier it was the house for them,
Yeah.
a palace. So in the ground floor, what used to happen when we face madam, behind man's sitting environment, I could see all the trees and all. So that trees makes me so worried that, oh my God, what is this? All bushes and all. It was a tender age, right? So
Yes,
I
ma'am.
used to worry a lot. So I never used to go to college for that particular period. I used to attend all the classes except that. Then what happened? During examinations, ma'am came to know that I was a topper. I used to work very hard, taking all the textbooks and all. Then one day, ma'am asked me, Anita, I have not seen you in my class most of the time. What is the reason? What I used to do, I never used to enter the classroom. I used to stay back outside the classroom and I used to write the notes. Still,
Really,
I was outside the classroom. When she said, all my classmates said that no, madam, she doesn't enter the classroom, but she stays back outside. Then she asked, what is making you to do that? Then I said, ma'am, whenever I'm getting into the classroom, I could see outside from the window all the trees. That is troubling me a lot. That is the reason I could enter. So this particular incident, always inspires me and try to understand what is the situation of the student. So first, we have to find out what is driving them actually. So I strongly believe it may not be laziness alone. Sometimes it might be,
Yes,
but
ma'am.
most of the time it may not be the reason. Okay. So here, when we talk about this laziness and all, self-management again helps us, right?
Yes, ma'am. Definitely.
So whatever, I don't call it as laziness or not connected or any sort of
Whatever
other
the
problems
situation
also.
or
Yeah.
reason may be.
So your brain tells you, right? I
Yes,
have
ma'am.
given you the strategy also that come on, ego and superego, come to
Yes,
superego stage, and your mind tells you definitely. So what is bothering you, right? Preventing you not to go to the college or preventing you not to learn any of the subject. So definitely you'll come to know.
Yes.
Then immediately what you have to do with the technique of self-management, you have to sit and start working on it. Literally you have to write on a paper that these are the things which are bothering me. That is the reason I'm not getting connected to that particular subject or to the environment or to the classes or to the college. Literally you have to write.
Okay, ma'am.
Now come back to multiplying. Already we have got additions in the form of strengths. We are already subtracting all our weaknesses. Now, obviously, we should know where we have to use all these strengths. We should apply somewhere all the additions, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Otherwise, that is also one of the failures again. We have all the skills, but when we do not know where we have to utilize, what is the use of we having the skills? So it is a duty. Yeah, it is a duty of a student that, yes, these are the strengths I have. Now I have to find out where I have to utilize it.
Literally, we need to practice them.
Definitely.
Yes, ma'am.
See, mind map everybody does who are very much experienced. But in the tender age, what is necessary? You have to write on a paper and see where I can use my skills.
Yes, ma'am.
That is what happens with placements and all also. What are your skills? What are your liking? Which area you wanted to go? Okay, in which area you're feeling that I'm not confident enough? Come on, sit, sort it out, and start working on it. See, now you have understood what is addition.
Yes, ma'am.
You have already subtracted all the weaknesses. Now you have started applying
opportunities.
Yeah, that means what you're multiplying are all additions.
Yes, ma'am.
But suppose if you're not doing these three things, what is the last thing? Dividing. That is nothing but what? All threats only.
We are just removing everything.
Subject becomes threat for you. Marks become threat for you.
Assignments become threat for me.
Assignments become a very big challenge for you.
And placements.
And finally, the placements. So to avoid all these things, what is the best remedy you can do? Come on, start writing in a paper. What are your additions? What are the things you have to subtract from your so-called list? Now see the additions, how you are going to multiply it. What are the opportunities where you wanted to apply it?
And how we can able to practice them so that we shouldn't divide them.
Right.
Well said, ma'am.
Now I wanted to show you one of the slide to you.
Yes, ma'am.
You just see and tell me who is she.
Mona Lisa. Everyone knows, ma'am.
Everybody knows about that. Now how about this? Who is it?
Monali Bean. I know Bean, but I don't know Monali Bean.
So it is very much similar to Mr. Bean, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So this clearly tells you that there are two persons in one person only. There are two faces in one person. And each and every person, a face is full of it.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely, there are so many faces of persons, right, ma'am?
Mm-hmm. I don't call it as so many faces. One is outside face and one is inner face. Yeah.
Oh, okay, ma'am.
But outer face and inner face both have their own completeness. Do you accept to this?
Yes, ma'am. I do accept that. Right? Because the face, the behavior that I am showing to the society or college friends is different, somewhat different to the thing which I shown to myself, which I talk to myself. Whether it is positive or negative, that's a secondary. But everybody has the two faces.
Absolutely.
Two selves. We should have two selves. Yes,
two persons within one particular person.
Yes, ma'am.
This is a result, I have to say. See Mona Lisa, she's outer look, but
sweet. Yeah.
Very sweet, very convincing, very promising. But how about inner face? The same face looks in a very awkward manner, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the reason? What makes inner personality to change in such a way? When outer you're looking that much beautiful, why don't you look inner also?
Maybe the things that doesn't go well. Depression.
Most of the time.
Peer pressure and higher authorities pressure. Anger.
Right.
Maybe love failure or something sad.
Let me put the words in a very simple terminology. See, 4 things I have given. Yes, sad, anger, frustration, and final stages depression. Sad. Generally, inner face gets changed only because of these negative emotions. We're talking about interpersonal skills, right? Like talking to the others and managing with the others. That is possible only when your inner self is good. Otherwise, you cannot manage. You're simply managing the things. This managing the things will not survive for a longer time. Very short period. People come to know what you are.
Ooh.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. What influences your relationship with others? The first one is sad. If you're sad, your way of talking to the other person may not be good at all.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely.
Right? Though they talk in a positive manner, you receive it in a negative manner only.
Yes, ma'am. Our mindset will be different. Tone. We receive the other's tone as also different.
Even though they are much pleasing in talking,
Yes,
we
ma'am.
take it in a very wrong sense. Maybe what we have to call oppression sense, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Maybe aggression sense. Okay, same friend, for example, talking to you. Before day you were receiving in a normal manner, but the next day when you are in a sad mode, you don't be taking in the same manner.
Yeah.
Obviously,
yes, ma'am.
right?
Obviously, ma'am.
See the second one, anger. Maybe sometimes sad leads to anger, or individually anger appears, maybe because of certain situations. Maybe you were disturbed on the road while coming to the college. Maybe you were fussed with your breakfast, or maybe something.
Every reason.
Yeah, this is all these things come under self management only. If you can't manage properly, what happens? These overpower you.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely.
Are you getting the point? So entire life goes on with two terminology only. One is self-awareness and the other one is self-management. I strongly believe it. So see over here, management. When you're sad, you have to manage it. You find out what for you're sad. See the solution for it. You're no more in the mood of sad.
Ma'am, is there any situation that you come out from sadness, ma'am? I believe
See,
that there are so many, but would you like to share any one, ma'am?
sad. See, life's the important thing is I have to say like a relationship with my husband. All of a sudden, one day, a very healthy man disappeared. All of a sudden.
So it will be really very hard on you, ma'am.
Till then, I was not much known to the outer world at all. My world was very much narrow. My family, my education, my teaching, or my research, only that much. But suddenly, what happened when a man disappeared? It is a sad moment for me to the peak level, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, I was in that particular thing for a while. Then I started with self awareness. What next I have to do? Self management I have applied. Then I started diverting my mood. I started diverting.
At first, we have to accept the situation.
Definitely.
Yes, ma'am.
We know what is the reality. Literally, I have written on the paper on particular day. Yes, I am feeling sad for this particular reason. Now, what should I do? Should I stay back with this sadness for a longer time?
Definitely.
Or should I come out?
We should have to come out.
I have my responsibilities.
Yes, ma'am.
Then what I did, which is important? Me being sad is important, or my responsibility is important? Obviously, my responsibilities were very much important at that time. Immediately, what I did, okay, fine. How to overcome this sad? Then I started chalking it out. Like, okay, I should forget this particular important thing, right? So I have to divert my mood. Now, what I started doing, I took up different languages. I took up my next level of research. I started concentrating on them. Gradually, what happened? I inclined towards my responsibilities. No matter that sad feeling doesn't go,
yes, ma'am.
But that is not overpowering me right now. So successfully, I could self-manage myself to come out of my sad feeling.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So with this, I can strongly say that any person can come out with their self-management. Now, the second important thing is also same thing. Anger. Everybody says, I'm short-tempered. Do you think it's a status symbol to say that I'm short-tempered?
They are saying that it's the trending word.
So unfortunate to listen that one. Short-tempered. Yes, what for? What for anger feelings? Do we have right to show that anger feelings on others?
Definitely not.
After all, we are human beings, right?
Yes, ma'am.
When we take pain from others,
we don't obviously have any right to rub our anger on other person.
Not at all.
Who doesn't break the heart, or who doesn't do anything for the cause of our anger?
How we feel, the same thing other person also feels.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, who gave us right to portray our anger on other persons? Right, because of our mood sets, or maybe sometimes we are out of mood, we might feel a bit of irritated, but don't give the name of anger.
Yes, ma'am. That's
See,
maybe irritation.
there are certain things, right? Irritation is different, anger is different.
Yes, ma'am.
So when we are educated, automatically what we have to do, we have to balance our anger moods.
Yes, ma'am.
Otherwise, what happens? All the things will get collapsed, right? When we are in anger mood, can we maintain good relationship with others? Can we talk
Definitely
in a
not, ma'am.
proper manner with others?
No, ma'am.
How we respond to others, they also react in the same manner with us. Suppose very angrily when we talk with others, automatically they also start talking in a very anger mood with us, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So
And in
what
anger,
we
we
give,
can't see the fact, ma'am.
yeah,
There is a saying that goes, we can't see our face clearly in boiling water.
obviously, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So what is going on? What is fact? Only because of your internal negative emotion, you are unable to understand what is going on outside.
Yes, ma'am.
You got disturbed yourself and you are disturbing others also. How far it is right?
It's
So,
not right.
yeah, there are certain things also. Anger. Maybe because of the situations we feel anger, or because of the persons also we feel anger. Now, what to do at that time?
We need to manage ourselves.
Managing ourselves at the same time, we have to sort out why that
Yes, ma'am.
anger is triggering us. Okay, whenever we see any person, that anger triggers us. Why that anger triggers us? Sit and sort it out.
And
Right
how
over there,
we can
literally,
stop
what
it.
for?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I would like to quote one small example over here. One of the student, very recently it happened with me. That girl is very, anger moods. She has got anger issues a lot. One day I called her and I asked, what is this? I don't want to take the student name.
Yes, ma'am.
See, this is not how you have to talk. You have got, she's very talented girl. If you are unable to manage your anger issues, automatically everybody starts avoiding you. Is that needed for you? Then she was very much silent. She started weeping. Then I asked, come on, write on a paper. What are the things which really triggers you? Let me know. Then she started writing on the paper. Ma'am, so far I am the topper of the class till intermediate. After coming over here, I'm unable to understand C properly, so I'm getting less marks in C. The other girl is getting more marks. Other boy is getting more marks. That's why that is triggering me, and I'm very much annoyed
Here,
with those people.
jealous is leading to the anger, ma'am.
This is not jealous, I have to say. That is what, we misunderstand for one word to the other word.
Yes, ma'am.
Here she is angry with herself only, actually. She's not angry with the others.
Yeah.
She is feeling that I am unable to understand this particular subject.
Okay.
I am unable to score it.
Yeah.
That is my problem. And that is irritating me, and it is leading anger on myself only. But what I am doing, the same thing I'm portraying on others. Did you catch my point over there?
I catch it, ma'am.
Okay.
Because I go through the same situation.
That is what. So here there should be a clarity.
Yes,
anger on herself only, not on others.
But it is, she's portraying, ma'am.
She's portraying in such a way. So what happened? The relationship with her and the others got strained a bit. It is a strained relationship only, right?
Slowly she's becoming isolated, ma'am.
Isolated.
Yeah.
She is isolating herself, and others also started avoiding, because what if we talk, what happens? Then I told her, come on, write on the paper that where you're lagging, what is going wrong with you. She clearly wrote. Then I said that from today onwards, don't do this, do this. Concentrate on this subject, do like this, consult your faculty. Now she's absolutely fine. Because now she's confident.
Yes, ma'am.
She's scoring good marks. She could understand the subject very well. Now she's equally competing with the other students. Now she doesn't have that anger issues at all. Yes, when she could do that, can't we do? Every person can do that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is also a part of self-management only. We can control our anger. Only the thing is, we should find out what is triggering us to be in anger mood. Now see the next one, frustration.
When things doesn't go right.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't go right in the sense what? All the things should go right.
We accept the things in other manner, and the things go in any other manner, ma'am.
Here, you try to understand.
Yes, ma'am.
I wanted to ask you, things when they do not go according to our wish. What is your wish? As you have your own desires, you have your own demands, don't you think so that others also have the same demands? Others also have got their own attainment
Yeah.
levels.
Yes,
How
ma'am.
can you expect that all the things should go
In
according to your
your
wish only? How can you think? Don't you think so that that is absolutely
And
wrong?
when I just say one situation, ma'am. I'm one of the student coordinator in our department. I do organize some events, ma'am.
Mm.
I organize some events at some particular time. I just want the event to start at this particular time. But that doesn't happen. But I work very hard for that. I invite vice principals, I invite our HODs, I invite other faculty members. I ask students, I keep messaging the students to come to attend the lecture. I did everything, but things doesn't go right. How, at that situation, how can I tackle my frustration, ma'am?
Here, the biggest mistake, yeah, frustration comes out when the things doesn't go according to your wish. But actually, it is not your wish. You're talking about the common goal over there,
Yes, ma'am. Common
right?
goal.
So one person cannot attain anything, right? There should be a
Not
group.
only me, ma'am. My group. Of course,
Mhm.
I ask my friends, our teammates to do that. But I'm the one who is taking the blame.
It's not question of blame one or the other way.
Yes, ma'am.
A team lead should take the
Yes, ma'am.
responsibility of good and bad both.
Yes, ma'am.
It is not that if good comes to me, bad comes not to me, to the others.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Even if a team worked, they put their 100% effort in that, ma'am. But they didn't reach that goal.
So
Definitely, they
delegation
have
of
some.
work is important.
Yes, ma'am.
As a team lead, you have to monitor them,
Yes,
whether
ma'am.
in a right time, are they doing in a proper manner or not. That you have to monitor always as a team lead.
Yes, ma'am.
But delegation of work is very much important.
Yes.
And delegation of work also should go in such a way that right person for the right job. Most of the time what happens, I'll tell you, they write all the positions, they write all the
Person.
complete work, they go on give according to the serial wise number, 1 2 3 4. Here also 1 2 3 4, one matches with the one. Does it go like that?
No.
A few people are good at a few things and the others are good at the other things. Now you have to pick out as a team lead who is good at what. Right person for the right job. Suppose a person can handle talking to others. If you give this work to the other person who is not at all interested in talking to others, do you think so that your work gets completed?
Oh, no, ma'am.
Next
Definitely
time you
not.
check with your work whether have you delegated the work properly? Have you
Maybe
went with
not
the
only the
right?
teamwork, ma'am. Maybe some other situations that we can't avoid, that we can't control. Like that also, something happens, na, ma'am. At that time, how can one can tackle their frustration? Not only
Very
that.
simple thing. Frustration is common for a human being.
Yes, ma'am.
As a human being, we have to face. Take relaxation for 5 minutes. Sit and chalk it out. Jot down all the points that where I'm getting irritated. What is the thing not going proper way? Okay. When you start noting down the points, automatically you'll understand that where that vacuum got created.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? That vacuum, along with the other person who is already assigned, you also join your hands. Find out what is a drawback over there. Find out what is going wrong in that particular vacuum created place. Now you start working with a new strategy.
Yes, ma'am.
You have already applied strategies. You feel like it is not comfortable. Immediately what we have to do, we have to go and change the strategy. It's not that I sit and I go for frustration and I apply on others. No. What you have to do, see where you're going wrong. Change the strategy.
Okay.
Changing the strategy matters a lot because in one particular occasion, that strategy might have proved good, but it is not possible for all other strategies. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So you have to go on,
So
keep on changing the strategies.
Depends on the situation. Yes, ma'am. I'll do that.
Right. Now see the depression part. You might have observed in your classroom only one of the students sits very much silent.
Yes, ma'am.
But I have observed even this also in the classroom that no one worries about that particular student. Why so? And who is a person who gets into depression completely? A person who cannot manage sad or anger or frustration. The final stage for him is depression. Him or her.
Whoever it may be.
Yeah. But what I suggest other people than the person who is under depression is, see, nowadays we made distance between the people.
Yes, ma'am.
Very least. I have seen even after 4 years also, students say, Madam, I do not know the name of that boy or the girl. You belong to the same class.
And how
And
can you
how can you
don't
say
know?
that? Can't you
Yeah.
talk to each other? So that is a major problem. This depression so-called thing, they themselves can do it. But if they are unable to do, immediately the others should take chance. Others should keep an eye on all other fellow students, that who's not talking, who's not coming regularly. As a part of humanitarian grounds, we can do it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So and so
Definitely.
student is not regular, he keeps very much silent. Why don't we take the initiation of talking to him? Why don't we change him? Why don't, who knows what is going behind him?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So when others take the initiation, that person who is under depression can come back very soon. He himself also, or she herself also can do that. Depression, whenever they are feeling like, these are the symptoms of depression. They wanted to be isolated, they don't want to talk with anyone. So I mean, they wanted to sleep always. These are the symptoms. Immediately what they have to do, the best solution for all these things is take 40 minutes walk every day. When you start walking, see, what I say is, it is a chain, like
Yes, ma'am.
mentally fit, physically fit, everything is like linked with each other. So when you start walking, there's a gland in our mind, in our brain,
Yes, ma'am.
that gets triggered,
That.
activated. Automatically what happens, I mean, immediately we can't take the pills. Immediately other person may not identify us. We should identify us. We are
Yes,
not
ma'am.
children right below 5 years. We are to
We should have
a
to tackle
stage,
ourselves. Yes, ma'am.
to one age we have attained. So immediately what we have to do, yeah, something wrong with my thought process. I think I'm isolating. No, something I have to do. What is the immediate thing you can do? Come on, take 40 minutes walk. You take for one day, you realize where you're going wrong. Those 40 minutes, what are you doing? In a normal situation, you're taking 1 minute time to make your brain to understand whether are you at ego stage, id
Super.
stage, or super ego stage. So when you walk for 40 minutes, automatically your brain takes you to super ego stage. It is scientifically proven. Then immediately what you can do, you can come out of the problem, which what made you to
Feel
get into
isolated.
depression.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
It's not always pointing out to others that I'm like this because of the others, I'm doing like this because of others. No. Yes, see, it is not because of others. We have to live in the society. Each and every time we mingle, sometimes it is good, sometimes it is bad, but we have to get through all those things.
Yes, ma'am.
Each and every time we have to see our self-awareness, self-management. Now just see the consequences of these negative emotions. We said sad, we are in anger mood, we are in frustration, we are in depression. Okay, now just see over there, active listening. Can we listen to others when we are in sad mood?
So, ma'am, here we can see role of communication skills, ma'am. How communication skills play a role to turn our depression or sadness into a positive or optimistic way.
Communication skills.
Yes, ma'am.